Hey, shalom. Welcome, everyone. How are you doing? Today, we are going to be reading all of chapter 17 from First Kings. This means there will be a lot of review and some new stuff, but we're going to make it fun using the illustrated First Kings, Malachim Aleph in Hebrew, by Adam J. Howell and Jonathan Algren. The publisher is Glossa House Illustrated Biblical Texts. You can purchase this directly from the publisher at glossahouse.com if you like. Just look for illustrated First Kings in Hebrew. We get no royalties or anything like that, but it is good to support these kind of creative works. All right, so last time we already covered the part. We see the guys are worshiping a false god and such. So now we're going to rewind a bit still. Perek, that means section or chapter, Yod Zayin, 17. Let's have a look what it says. Ooh, this is going to be fun. All right, I'm going to go a bit quicker than usually, but it's all in adjusting your learning. Let me say a quick prayer. Adonai, Adonenu ma'adir shimcha. Oh Lord, our Lord, how adir, how excellent is shimcha, your name. Ken yiratzon ki bayom hazeh kol talmidai asher yesh po imadi yochalu lilmod tov tishlachna aleihem abba et ruchacha v'gam alai v'gam al kol mishpachotenu v'chol ra'mecha tishmor na Adonai et Yisrael et ammecha v'gam et artzecha mikol ra. Toda lecha modi'im anachnu lefanecha ki anachnu yode'im et shimcha. Okay, so here we go. Chapter 17. That's Yod Zayin, 10 plus 7. And here on the right we have Eliyahu Hanavi, and here is King Achav. So, Vayomer Eliyahu HaTishbi. Then Elijah the Tishbite said, it gets longer, Mitoshavei Gilad, from the dwellers of Gilad. He said, Yomer El Achav, unto Achav, Chai Adonai, Elohei Yisrael, Asher Amadti Lefanai. As Adonai, the God of Israel, Chai, as he lives, Asher, whom Amadti, I stood, Lefanai, before him. Im Yichyeh, if it will be Hashanim Ha'ele, the years, these ones. By the way, I'm hyperliteral. I'm not trying to make it sound great. If you prefer for it to sound great, we can do that too. I figure hyperliteral makes it easier for you to understand and follow. Tal, that's dew. U matar, or matar. It's u because of the bump shwa rule. Rain. Ki im lifi devari, but only by my mouth. Devari, my word. Okay. Verse 2. Sorry, there's some flash effect there. It's not flash. I had the studio light maybe on a bit too bright. Vayhi devar Adonai elai lemo. Vayhi, then it was devar Adonai, the word of Adonai, elai, unto him, lemo, saying, Lech mizeh. Lech is from halach, go, mizeh, from this, dialectically meaning from here, ufanita, and you shall paneh, pei nun hey, you shall turn, lecha, for yourself, or turn yourself, kedema. Kedem is east, the hey at the end means direction, like word, like home word, would be beita, or baita. Kedema, eastward. Venistata. This is a nifal from satal, to hide. Satarto would mean you will hide, but nistarta is you were hidden. Venistarta, and you will be hidden. Be at the Nachal Karit, or Nachal Karif, the Wadi Karif. Asher, which is al, by the Penei Hayarden, the face of the Jordan. Verse 4. Vehaya, and it will be me han nachal, me from han the nachal, the river or the wadi. Tishte, you will shata, you will drink. Ve'et ha'arevim, and the ravens. Now, there's special emphasis here because the verb follows. So it's like I said, the ravens, and they're ravens because the root is like the word for Erev, which is evening. Also where we get the word for Av, an Arab, right? Because they're darker than the ancient Jews were. Tziviti, I have commanded, lechalkelcha, to sustain you. Sham, there. Whew. So nice, right? Hope you're enjoying. Verse 5. Vayelech. So he halach, he went. Vayas, and he asad, he did. Ke, that's a kaf, according to, or as, or like, devar Adonai, the word of Adonai. Vayelech, and he went. Vayeshev, and he dwelled. Be at Nachal Karif, the Wadi Karif. Asher, where, Al, by, Penei Hayarden, the face of the Jordan. Verse 6. Not sure why they are white. I think the artist made a mistake here. I've never seen a white raven. Maybe he was reading from a English translation that was not so good. That is bizarre. You ever seen white ravens? Maybe he just did. Oh, maybe it was artistic license because it wasn't looking very good, right? I can imagine that, like all black bird, the kind of style they're drawing with. Anyway, these are supposed to be avim, darkies, ravens, right? From the word related to evening. Verse 6. Veha avim mevi'im lo. Then the avim, the dark ones, i.e. the ravens, mevi'im, from the verb bo. Bo is to come. This is a hefil active participle. So they caused to come. What does that mean? Brought. V'ha'avim mevi'im. And the ravens brought, or were bringing, lo, to him, lechem, bread, uvasar, and meat. Ba boker, in the morning. V'lechem, and bread, uvasar, it's u because of the bump schwa rule. By the way, you can turn this down, the speed, if it's too fast. You can do that. Here in Patreon, just click playback speed and slow it down. Uvasar, and meat. Presumably, this is fish. Ba'arev. I think that's their tradition of fish. In the arev, in the evening. Why is it arev? Unfortunately, this graphic novel did not feel the ta'amim, the trope. The cantillation marks were important enough to include. Maybe they're so small they were worried about printing errors, like ink messing up or something. So what happened is the word for evening is e'arev. And here, there's probably, almost certainly, I would guess, an etnachta, the little wishbone-looking thing. Some call it atnach, some say atnachta. Don't get on to me just from another tradition's name, okay? In my tradition, it's etnachta. So it lengthens the short vowel segol to a long vowel comments. And look, the author's kind of doing a bit of play on words here. Look, veha avim mevi'im lo lechem avasar ba'boker ve'lechem avasar ba'arev. See the arev? And arev brings him in the arev, in the evening. Again, they're not white birds. Umin, again, because of bam shwa, and from han nachal, the wadi, yishte, he drank. Notice a imperfect form being used for a completed action. It might be better to translate that as he would drink. All right, verse 7. Vayhi mik kates yamim, or mik kates yamim, And it was from the end of days, Vayivash hanachal, that the wadi dried up. Ki, for lo haya geshem, there was not geshem, rain. Ba aretz, again, this time it's siluk that's missing. Eretz became aretz because it's the last word in the verse. But in the eretz, in the land. Okay. Verse 8. Sorry, the angle's kind of hard to get on this one. Vayhi devar Adonai eliv lemo. And it was the word of Adonai, devar Adonai, eliv unto him, lemo, saying. Verse 9. Kum, get up, lech, that's halach, go. Tzorfatha, towards Tzorfath. Again with the halacative, that's word. Tzorfath, word. Asher, which is Let Sidon, part of Sidon. Veyashavto, then you will yashav, you will dwell, sham, there. Hine, behold, tziviti, I have commanded, sham, there. Isha, a woman. Almana, a widow. Lechalkelecha, to sustain you, or provide for you. Verse 10, Vayakum, and he kumed. Notice the middle root letter is gone because it's a hollow verb. He got up. Vayelech, and he went. Tzorfatha, Tzorfath ward. Continuing with verse 10. Vayavo, when he arrived, or then he came, el, unto, that's Aleph Lamed if you're just listening, Petach ha'ir, or da Petach ha'ir, the entrance of the city. Vehine sham, and behold there was isn't in the Hebrew, I'm inferring, with it's set, the tone is set by Vayavo, when he arrived, Isha, a woman, Almana, a widow, Mekosheshet aitzim, gathering, kindling. I'm saying kindling because this word, kashash, it's used in Exodus for to gather stubble, to gather kashash. So it seems to imply not such heavy things. Vayikra eleha, so he called unto her. Vayoma, and he said, Kechi na. So this is from lakach. It's a feminine command. Right? To a man, it would be kach. This is actually what Adonai says in Genesis 22, the Akedah, the binding of Isaac, when he tells Avraham Avinu, Kach na et bincha et yechidecha shahavta. Kach na, take now your son, your unique one whom you love. But this is to a woman, so we don't say kach, we say kechi, or kechi, take na, please, li, for me. Da me'at mayim, a little bit of water. Bakali, bakali, in the vessel. Ve'ushte, that I might shata, that I might drink. Verse 11. Vateled, vatelech. So she went, lakachat, that's just the infinitive, to take, vayikra eleha, and he called to her, vayoma, and he said, likchina, li, take now, or take please for me. Pat lechem, or da pat lechem, a morsel of bread. This is the same word, pat, that's used by Avraham Avinu when the three messengers visit him, and he tries to convince them to stay. And he says, look, let me just give you a pat lechem, a morsel of bread. And then he tells Sarah to make 3 times 15 liters, 3 seyas, 45 liters of flour to take. So he's making them a feast. He probably doesn't know what angels eat. Pat lechem, a morsel of bread, beyadech, in the yad of eich, in the hand of you, feminine form for you. Verse 12. Vatomer, but she said, and I'm not going to do the feminine voice, okay? It's a woman speaking. Chai Adonai Elohecha, as Adonai your God lives, im yeshli, if even I have ma'og, a place of sustenance, ki im melo, for if it is filled, da chaf kemach bakal, a palm full of flour in the jug, or da me'at shemen, a little bit of oil, ba tzapachat, in at, the tzapachat, in the jar or flask. Vehini, behold, I mekosheshet, am gathering or have gathered shenaim aitzim, 2 sticks. Uvati, and I will return. Ve'asitihu, and I will prepare it. Li, for me. Ve'livni, and for my son, the ben of E. Va'achalnuhu, then we will achal it, we will eat it. V'matanu, then we will die. Verse 13. Vayomer Eliyahu, I want to say Eliyahu, I'm so eager for Eliyahu, because that's what it is. Vayomer Eliyahu. See, it starts the same, right? Aleph, Aleph, Lamed, Lamed, Yod, Yod, Hey, Hey, just missing the Hu, if you're not looking at the vowels. Then Eliyahu said unto her, Al tich'i, don't you fear, Bo'i, come or arrive, Ratsi, you make, Chid varech, according to the davar of ech, according to the word of you, ach, only, Ratsi, make, li, for me, misham, from there, Urga, a cake, ketana, a little one, varishona, at the first. This is what Rashi says. One would expect the first book in the Bible to be written with this word if it truly meant in the beginning, instead of in a beginning, as I detail in my book. If you haven't read my book, please consider getting it. It's in the Patreon store. I think I made it just $20. They take like 10% of that. If you buy it in the iOS store, I think they add like $10 or something. They take a whole lot. So it's cheaper for you if you buy it in a web page or something, if you're an Apple user. So instead of, then it's varishona, at the beginning. Vehotze tu, then you bring out li, for me. Pavel and I were having an interesting discussion on this just the other night about why he's asking to be fed first. What are your thoughts? What do you got? Let's see what you guys say. I'm curious to see if you'll have the same conclusion that Pavel over in Italy and I had. Velach, and for you, velivnech, and for the ben of Eich, the son of you, ta asi, you will make ba'achrona, afterward, literally in the after, which is interesting. He might be hinting about. That's actually very interesting. I hadn't noticed this before. Like in the hereafter, right? Like go ahead and die. If you're going to die, what difference does it make? At least feed a prophet. So, by the way, I'm not hinting about the answer. I just thought that was interesting. And you will make in the after. It's literally what it says. But in the achrona, after. Verse 14. Ki cho amar Adonai, da Elohei Yisrael. Ki cho, for such, amar, said, Adonai, Elohei Yisrael, the God of Israel. Kad hakemach, it's actually construct. Kad hakemach, the jug of the flour. Lo tichla, it will not finish. and the tzapachat hashemen, the flask of the oil, lo, not tuchsar, it will not lack, ad, until, yom, day, tate Adonai gives geshem, rain, al, upon the penei ha'adamah, the face of the adamah, of the land. Verse 15. V'teilech, so she went, she halacht. V'ta v'aseh, and she did. Ki, like the devar Eliyahu, the word of Eliyahu. Construct, chain. Such good faith the almanah had. V'tochal, he. Then she ate. Literally, then she ate. She, vahu, and he. And I see they've corrected this here. In the actual Masorah, who is actually pointed as he. So it's she and she, which who knows, there could be something mystical there. Well, I think when we went through it, I told you guys that I suspected it's supposed to be he and who. The consonants would say that if we didn't read it with the vowels. But who knows, there could be something mystical, she and she. Like maybe it's hinting about a double portion in the achrona, the after. Uve ta, in the house of her, yamim, days. This means for a long time. Verse 16. Da kad hakemach, the jug of the flour, lo, not, chalita, it didn't finish, ve, and, so this construct chain, it wraps around, da tzapachat hashemen, the flask of the oil, lo chaser, it didn't lack, or it wasn't lacking, really. Ki, like, da devar Adonai, the word of Adonai, asher, which, diber, he spoke, or he promised, be, da yad Eliyahu, by the hand of Elijah, by the authority of Eliyahu. Verse 17. I think this is where we would be to, then this is new stuff. We're not reviewing anymore. So maybe I'll go a little bit slower for the new stuff. Vayhi achav ha-devarim ha'ele. Vayhi. So it was, acha, aleph chet resh, if you're just listening, after, had, the, devarim, things, ha, the, ele, these ones. Ha devarim ha'ele, after these things, after these messages. Chala, chet, lamed, hey. So here I made a video that just came out today, a little 2-minute video that teaches about that. Let's check that out real quick, and then we'll come back to. This is the end of part 1 from a 2-part video. This video was proudly Israeli made and edited. Am Yisrael Chai, Od Avinu Chai. Tikkun Olam, repair the world. Do your part to reduce suffering among humans and animals. Shalom.